I made another Rantsona mad at me. This one's a Christian Rantsona. I don't want to do any spoilers, so I skipped his sizzle reel. His name is Remnant. He jumped in the other night when I was talking to all those Christians. So we'll start at the important context portion. It's called Leftist Atheist Humiliated in Debate After Claiming Theists Are Dumb. I stand by it.
Context. This was not a scheduled debate between me and Actually Jake. It was originally...
Actually Jake. Close! That's a close one. Are you using AI slop, man? You're a stolen Rantsona, an armored skeptic ripoff clone, and you use shitty AI?
debating with somebody about Christianity. The debate was hosted by Platinum Politics. So when it was time for the audience to come up and ask questions, I couldn't help myself but to go up and ask a few as a Christian. And that's how we got here. Also, be sure to join the debate server. FYI, I don't own it. So please do behave yourselves and read the rules first. I just chill there. I mainly hang out in VC.
Hang out. I'm just hanging out. Sorry.
Have a fun time playing games, but more about that at the end of the video.
Cool.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Man. Wait, I gotta turn you up. You're real quiet.
That's unfortunate. I'll try and speak up and everything. But I heard you earlier say that it's like a consensus and everything that scientists don't really believe in God or anything like that. It's the consensus, and like I understand,
it's the consensus that material reality does not point to God. True. There are lots of scientists that believe in God, but they have the position that material reality and God are separate, which is what ACC's is too.
Oh yeah, actually I would agree with that. And I thought you were just saying something about like how scientists in general don't believe in God, and that was the thing I wanted to address.
Scientists in general definitely don't believe in God the way like.
What do you mean by
like
that?
Most American Christians believe in God, that's for sure.
But do you think that they do believe in God?
Most scientists, for instance, would believe in physical reality, and then they attribute the physical reality and the usually the God of the gaps to their Christian God. Right. Yeah. So typically it's like, I'm a physicist and I believe in material reality. Do not find any evidence for God, but I was, born Christian and am culturally Christian, and so, they're usually closer to a deistic sense, but yeah. Is this what this conversation was with this guy? Does it get any more interesting than this? He doesn't really understand what I'm saying, I don't think. That's okay. It's like cultural though, and many of them are like personally not really practicing Christians, but there's definitely a lot that identify like that.
But then I wasn't really able to ask my question though. I understand that you could have a different view about God exactly, but I'm just talking more about just the general belief of God.
Yeah. So their general belief of God is more secular.
No, I'm not asking about their general belief of God. You can have a secular worldview about how things in the world.
Dude, sorry, just the way this guy talks is very funny.
Operate. The wind doesn't blow because God is making it happen right now.
There are people that believe that though.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people that believe that. I'm not talking about those people, though. My question.
So they're less secular.
I'm trying to get to my question. No offense. My question and everything, though, is when it comes to Christians that are scientists and everything, what percent do you think actually believe in God? Because you made it out to be that not many Christians at all believe in God.
I get words confused here in asking about the scientists.
And I'm not talking about in terms of how like
it doesn't matter. 100% of them could believe in God.
No offense, you've gone on a little bit with this. I haven't even been able to finish my question. I'm not asking.
Why does he keep saying that? He seems to finish a sentence with a question mark at the end and then say, "I'm not done." So okay. Well, no offense, but I mean, you keep finishing sentences with question marks. So it sounds like multiple questions, or maybe just asking the same question over and over. I'm inclined to pause it in real time now again.
In comparison to how they view God, compared to the general population, I'm talking, do they believe in God in general? Do they?
Right. So like, I would delineate personally between someone who believes in like a young Earth creation story to someone who believes in an older.
Question of God or the supernatural.
I am answering the question.
You're answering the question. You're deviating.
I'm not deviating.
You are. You said, "Well, I would make." No, you're saying, "Well, I would make a distinction."
I don't know why he's upset.
and all this. I'm just simply asking. Like, I agree. There are dumb Christians out there that I don't agree with at all. We have a lot of fights. I'm asking in general, though, scientists who believe in God. That's what I'm asking.
I would say a lot of people are at, I'd say probably like close to a coin flip.
Okay, I would agree with that. And that is actually what the data shows. I just wanted to make sure. Because when
I would say if you ask a lot of those, and if I would just say if you ask a lot of those guys that do, we're not talking about like, you know, you're saying all scientists. So this includes like people that don't, their discipline doesn't really intersect with this, and so that's okay.
I get
so
that.
like, cool. Yeah, and so it's like not necessarily that if you're gonna have a doctorate in fucking English that you're gonna be an atheist. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you're more likely to be secular the more you understand physical reality. And if you want to keep your God in a for instance, there are I forget his name because it's been like fucking decades. I don't even know if he's still around. Barney, I think, was his first name. Could be wrong. There was this Christian guy that used to fight for secular values and lived secularly, essentially. But he said that he believed in God. Like, there's just, I don't know. Like, he's like, well, if they believe in God at all, then I win or something. Like, it's what he's doing. Because I saw him in chat earlier. Because I don't know if it was on screen for you guys, but during the Discord thing, they have like a running chat and their like chat pops up, and he kept saying like half of Christians are fucking, or half of scientists are religious, which is not all Christian, by the way. Then the study he sends me, I think it's him or maybe it's a different person later. It's not actually what it says. Only like 30% of them are, and the other percentage are like agnostic, and he's counting like people who are like, well, I'm not a hard atheist. And so actually it shows that if you are educated, you are definitely more likely to be secular than the average person, which is what my argument was. Little gap where you don't know like where the Big Bang comes from. You're like, I need a prime mover for the Big Bang, or I'm not satisfied. That's something you can say, but it makes your God small, and so that's what I'm saying. Like the gradient to which you
actually don't agree with that,
to
because
which you're actually like
there are, for example, a lot of atheists like to bring up how a lot of people
bring up. I don't know if that's an impediment, but like I have a hard time when dudes like this are like, I'm a really smart boy, and they sound like children when they talk to me. I don't know. That's just what I notice.
Who have higher level. Well, here's the thing. You've gone on quite a bit. I haven't even been able to speak that much. There are a lot of atheists who bring up. There are a lot of atheists who bring up how the more educated you become, the less Christian you become. Then they draw that as a correlation.
Age, race, education, other demographic traits, the U.S. religious groups, high school less. Right. So definitely less Christian as you get more educated.
Oh, the more you understand,
and that's even modernly,
physical reality, the more likely you're to be an atheist. That doesn't apply to Muslims, though.
So, yeah.
That doesn't apply to Muslims, though.
Okay, that's irrelevant. It doesn't really make sense or care or matter. So, like the demographic of people that make this up doesn't matter. All this seems to mean is that the religious doctrine that they follow is more acquiescent to this kind of thing. By the way, postgraduate degree, like I said before, does not mean, like, are Muslims with postgraduate degrees seeking, what kind of degrees are they seeking? You know what I mean? Same with the Hindu and the Jewish. What kind of postgraduate degrees are we talking about? If I look at a breakdown of this percentage and I see postgraduate degrees in theology more often than not, because they're Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, or Hindu practitioners in America, which is rare, which implies kind of a cultural adherence you wouldn't see in a place where you're that deep a minority, if you're necessarily. It could also mean a lot of other things. I mean, what it seems to speak to me too is that, and this tends to happen, is that Christian apologetics runs counter to science in a much harder view than a lot of these other places. And I think getting a postgraduate degree, you're more likely to have to need money to do that. And a lot of those people are religious because that's where a lot of the systemic shit happens from. So I would like to see the breakdown of the postgraduate degree to understand this. And then I would like to see an analysis of that data before I take his. He just said correlation isn't causation just a second ago. The suggestion here is that like it goes down, it goes down, it goes down. And then you see this anomalous, like it goes up with a postgraduate degree. You know what I mean? Like that seems weird.
When you go up in terms of education,
I'd like to see the income too. Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. Like, so, like he thinks that this is a dunk, and I try to talk him I try to talk him through this, and he doesn't listen. I definitely think that the later religions are going to be, like, a non-Christian religion in general is going to be a little more compatible with a secular worldview, just by virtue of not having this, like, insane sort of, like, right-wing propaganda apologist, like, entity, like, always pushing against that shit. I feel like a lot of these places, a lot of these, like, religions tend to coincide a little bit better. That said, again, my inclination here is that this is clearly anomalous from the trend that you see generally as people go it goes down and then suddenly postgraduate goes up. Very suspicious to the kinds of postgraduate degrees you're getting, the kind of funding that these people have if they're able to seek that kind of religion or that kind of thing, and because they identify as these religious groups, which are minority groups, one would suspect that it's more likely that their postgraduate degree is tied to something like this. But I'd like to see.
So you should be
a Muslim, I guess. It seems to be.
Well, according to
it seems like Islam is closer to secularism
than
Christianity.
I'm pointing out the flaw in that logic, that the more education you have, the more likely you're to be logical and just not believe in a God. Because when you look at Muslims, that doesn't happen at all. So it doesn't actually correlate with anything you're saying. It's much more likely to be cultural.
In theocratic societies?
There are Muslims in theory.
Yeah? So you misspoke, but now your point is something totally different on the screen. So the guy you're talking to is arguing with the things you said, but you're pretending that actually I'm supposed to be arguing with the Pew Research U.S. religious groups argument totally differently. I see.
Okay. Like in America, we have Muslims in America,
so in
right?
A theocracy, I don't think that's actual education. But
wait, no, I'm sorry, I misspoke there. No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about in America.
So Arab countries are like
no. In America,
What's the most secular?
No, I misspoke. I said I didn't mean theocratic societies. I'm talking
American Arabs are more likely to be Muslim than.
I said Muslim.
Other people
I didn't say
educated?
Arabic. You're now talking about race. I never mentioned race. I said Muslim, which is a religion. That's like me saying Christian
I said
and white.
Arabic because you said.
I never said Arabic.
No, I know, but I'm saying you said Muslim. Why? If you know we're talking over each other, why did you keep it in your edit? Like this is a period of the 5-hour conversation, which he wasn't part of the whole thing, where clearly he misspoke. The Discord thing layers over top of it, and now I'm trying to figure out what the fuck he actually asks me. And I remember this, and I was like, well, what the fuck are you asking me then? And then you said, in their situation, they are more likely to, so I just thought you were generalizing. So, never mind. So in American, so what's the claim?
So the claim is that the idea that the higher level education you have, the higher level education.
That's not what we're seeing. We're seeing the general trend to be
Jake,
more secular.
why are you asking me a question and not letting me speak? You just asked me a question and then you continue to ramble.
I don't know if he understands how the back and forth works, but yeah, I guess he just wants to. He can't interact with what I'm saying. I have to interact with what he's saying. Okay.
What I'm saying is the idea that a lot of atheists have, the higher levels of education you have, does not make you more atheist, because you can also look at Muslims. You can say that for Christians, but that's more like...
So Muslims are a minority in this country. When I say people are more likely to be secular when they get more education, that is true statistically. Like you say, well, not in this subgroup of people. Okay. So anyway, so people generally get more secular when they are more educated. He's not hearing the words, I guess. He hears secular and he thinks that I'm saying that they're devout atheists, practicing atheists.
Likely to be cultural, which has nothing to do with just your education. When you look at Muslims, for example, you don't see that.
Game footage sucks, by the way.
Whatsoever. So it makes no sense that the more educated you become, the less likely you're to become a
boy game.
You're less likely to be a theist.
Jesus. So you're saying from religious communities, they are less likely to deconvert when they get education?
Could you repeat that?
Muslim communities are less likely to deconvert, and in fact, they're more likely to retain
my
the religion.
Distinction is,
which is not the data he showed. Actually, he shows that they deconvert as they get education, and then only in postgraduate degree havers in Muslim communities does it go up, which suggests to me a theocratic lean towards that education. Like they're getting doctorates in the religion. I'm just guessing, but that seems quite high for 46% of your Muslim population with postgraduate degrees to be religious and anomalously away from the bachelor degrees. Seems interesting. I'd like to see.
likely funding from religious institutions. Right. This is exactly what I'm saying. So like the data doesn't just suggest that in a vacuum. It seems interesting. I'm very interested in understanding why. My suspicion would be, to steelman his position, is that, like I said before, like Christianity is a unique monster in that it lobbies against things like science because it has been coupled with capitalist goals and co-opted by the right wing in the country. So it's like a political tool in a different way. But yeah.
It's not so much about...
Of course, the theist is in Murder Simulator. Yeah, I know.
You believe in God.
Education?
It's cultural. What? That's my... Yes, because how do you explain...
No, I'm asking... Your claim is very confused.
My claim... I'll repeat it again. I'll repeat it again.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
So I can understand you?
Sure.
Thank you. Fuck.
Well, don't whine when you do it constantly to me, man.
Are you saying that already Muslim people are more likely to retain their faith during education phases? Like when they go to college, they're more likely to retain their faith than Christians?
Mm-hmm. When they go for bachelor's and master's, for example, or PhD.
Actually, the data did not show the data that he showed did not show bachelors going up. It showed
they're just more. So they're more. That group of people is more likely to keep their faith through college.
Mm-hmm.
That's the claim.
Yes.
Okay. And what do you think that says?
That says when it comes to your belief in God, it's not so much about higher levels of education and understanding the world make you more inclined to become an atheist. It's simply that when you look at these different communities, it's the culture that decides it. You just said, though, when you understand the world more and how it works, the more educated you become with these things, the more likely you're to become an atheist.
From an American Christian enough?
I think the culture is entirely different when you go to a Christian family household here in America, in a Muslim household.
I've been in many different households with different religions, including Muslim. I've never experienced like such a vast degree of difference between a Christian and a Muslim.
They're very different. Would you disagree with that?
The culture is very different. No. I feel like they're very similar. Yeah. I feel like they have differences that are obvious, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they are any different.
So you think that Muslims and Christians are just alike?
From my perspective, I think Muslims and Christians are very, very similar.
Yes, you are very alike.
In culture?
From my secular perspective,
culturally, we're the same?
No, you're alike.
Oh, alike so then that had nothing to do with what I was saying. I said culture. I've been saying culture repeatedly.
Yep. Yes, culturally, I think you're very similar. Yes. What are you talking? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so then you do agree with me with what I was just saying.
What it seems to me to imply, I mean, I would have to see whatever study you're appealing to, but I'm just going to take it at face value for the sake of argument. That seems to say to me that Islam is closer to secularism than Christianity is, so it is easier for someone to stay in the faith because they have fewer contradictions to deal with throughout their education.
That's one
By the way, Muslims do make these arguments a lot when they talk to Christians, because they'll say, because of course it's like a 500-year gap between the inceptions of the religions, and so you do have a little more modernity in the hadith and stuff, and they'll be like, oh look, we have like science in the Quran, doesn't that make you think that it's true? And they'll look at it and stuff. Not compelling to me, but it is definitely a thing that happens in in debates between those two groups.
But I also don't know, that's my assumption on it. But all of this seems to be like, I mean, like when you say educated people, like what kind of degrees are these people seeking? I would need to see the study that you're claiming exists. It doesn't seem like really real, but it seems neat.
Yeah, there are quite a few.
That's a cool thing.
I'll even be showing it on the screen and everything for people to see. But I can even link you the studies and everything. Let me see here. I can even link you the study right here.
The study he links me does not agree with him.
So what you said?
Yeah, can you read the conclusion for me? Can you see what they concluded from that, and what would
this one, for example, shows that like at least a third of people.
Religious belief among the general public and scientists. Percent who believe in God. 83% of the general public and only 33% of scientists. Buddy, you are putting up, even in your fucking dumb video, this agrees with my claim. As you get educated, you become more secular. Like literally what? Also more atheist. 41% atheist. Look at that. 41% atheists who don't believe in either a God or a universal spirit or higher power. Like I don't know how you can read this data and think that it agrees with what the fuck you're saying. This is the exact same thing. Like what is he reading that he says, "Oh, I win"? Because any scientists believe in God? Why are you self-owning? You realize that you're doing that, right? Do we have to watch the rest of this? Yes, but still.
People who took the study that were scientists, a third of them believed in an actual physical God. Well, not physical God, an actual God. And then...
versus 83% of the public. So as you can see, you get more secular as you get educated. You're welcome.
About 18% more believed in something more spiritual. 2009, actually.
Yeah, okay. So I definitely agree that... So like a person who's a scientist... Okay, so yeah, so this isn't really what we're talking about, but that's okay. So this is, I can put it on screen. This is a Pew Research article about general religiosity in the early 2000s. So yeah, I mean, I think guys that come from a religious society are more likely to be religious. 33% of scientists say they believe in God.
Then
51%,
wait. So people who come from a religious society...
Hold on, I'm just reading your fucking thing. According to the poll, just over half of scientists, 51%, believe in some form of deity or higher power, specifically
33 and 18.
Typically, 33% of scientists say they believe in God, so fewer than half, while 18% believe in a universal spirit or higher power, something closer to a deism, which is kind of neat, maybe a prime mover or something that they leave space for. By contrast, 95% of Americans believe in some form of deity. This is old because now it's down to like 60.
It's actually fluctuating back and forth as time goes on. People, especially after the pandemic, have become more religious, especially more Catholic.
Do you think that is okay? So, do you think
it's actually
people's
going
panic
upwards.
Response to a pandemic led them to a religious belief is a reliable source of like truth?
I never made that was a reliable source of truth. I'm talking about fluctuation in the rates. I never said
okay, yeah. So I agree that religiosity goes up in hard times, and when they have less education and fewer resources, you're agreeing with me. Yes, I think that since 20 fucking pretty much since 2008, it's been getting progressively worse.
So anthropologically speaking or sociologically speaking, that would seem
2001
suggest that people are panicking and looking for some kind of comfort in an uncertain time.
I would agree with that, but that's not what we're talking about.
So that's not truth seeking. That's just emotional. And so
but now you're
agree,
swapping the goalposts.
Like
I'm talking about the general
source of truth.
No.
I mean, this corn guy is just fucking correct. Why does he think he owns me in this? God damn it! I thought this was going to be more challenging. I didn't know which guy this was, but
you're swapping the goalpost now because I'm talking about general trends. Yes, that is a direct swap of the goalpost. I'm talking about higher levels of education not directly correlating to your belief in God because it's not the same for all religions and all backgrounds.
It does directly correlate. They are listen. No. Only 33% of scientists are religious in the way that you are. That is
like literally, hello, you were agreeing with me. He keeps putting it up. Okay. I don't even have to. I'm glad.
Difference. 33 versus during that study that you brought up, 95% of Americans
I just told
were more
you that.
religious than scientists.
You're like coming to this realization now?
I
said that at the beginning.
Higher, or I don't know. I mean, there's a 70% of them that don't.
Now you're not letting me speak, buddy. No, you're constantly swapping the goalposts with what I was saying. You're constantly
what? How is this swapping the goalposts? You're agreeing with me. You just are agreeing with me. You get more secular as you get educated.
Swapping the goalposts. Yes, now you're talking about the logic behind it. I said that when you go, yes, you are, because you said that was a reaction, a comfort response, right? The reason why people
what
you said the reason why people were converting to Christianity. You're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish. Let me finish. When I was
let me finish. Every time someone
talking about now, you're not letting me finish. When I said that. After the pandemic, more people converted. You said that is a reaction because of horrible things going on.
Yes.
Did you not? Yes. I wasn't talking.
Yes, an emotional response, not someone seeking education. I agree. People are irrational when they choose to be religious. Correct.
About why people were converting. I was talking about when you seek higher levels of education, it does not directly correlate for theism in general. For people to deconvert
perfectly to what I said.
But it doesn't for Muslims. Then explain Muslims.
By a factor of so much.
Do you think Muslims have it more correct then? Are you saying that Muslims are more correct than Christians, despite them throwing I would say rooftops today?
So despite throwing the, I mean, you would throw.
He can't say the gays. Why is he bleeping the gays?
off the rooftops.
Well, I think the
Donald Trump was
projection's
like,
there.
yeah,
You
let's
probably yourself, right?
I'm not gay. What?
Where you bi?
So
I think you're just
sorry,
projecting
buddy.
there,
Sorry to
buddy.
disappoint.
You're just
Why is he trying to get me to be gay? What the fuck?
swapping the goalpost over and over.
He does that a lot.
He does
I'm
that
not
a
swapping
lot.
the goalposts.
You did.
You did. You did. I have it all recorded, by the way.
I would say that Islam. To answer
No,
your question,
you
I would say that
literally did. I
Islam
have this recorded, by the way.
Islam. Me too.
Yeah.
Islam is a
People are
later
gonna see.
addition
You're
to
just swapping the goalposts.
worldview. So it's
changing-
We're gonna see you're swapping the goalpost by saying that you become more secular when you're educated, and then you show a study that proves my point. What the fuck?
What I'm talking about. I was talking about religiosity not going down when you seek higher forms of education.
It does go down though, and you're saying, but wait, the Muslims. I guess the Muslims aren't most people here, and I'm right. Sorry.
When you're a scientist, now you're talking about
the Pew
why
Research
people
article
are
you sent
Christian
me
or not.
proves you wrong.
Say what?
The article you sent me proves you wrong.
No, it didn't,
You are
because
much more
50% are
if you're a
religious.
scientist-
That's what I said.
If you're a
50%. You even
scientist,
said
the
it yourself.
majority of you, by a factor of 70% to 30%, you are more likely to be a secular, non-believing person.
I never
But
said.
if you
I
are
never said
if you
my
are a layman
religion.
in American,
I never said my
95% were
religion.
religious. You just don't understand the stuff you sent me. Is there
I
anything else
told you
wanna
what it
talk
was
about?
before.
Yeah, man. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? This is so dumb.
I was reading it off to you. Why do you think I
I was
said?
reading it off to you. I was reading it.
The study to you, buddy.
Buddy.
Now you're just swapping the goalposts because now you can't
make it look
actually
good, obviously,
substantiate your
because that's what
claim.
did
You're not able to substantiate your claim, and now you're constantly swapping the goalposts. You've done it like 2 or 3 times now, buddy. Just admit that your claim before was wrong.
My claim was not wrong. It was correct. You agreed with it. You showed me a study that agreed with my claim.
Just admit it. That's fine. Everything could be done. Just admit. Then when you seek higher forms of education, the more you-
Literally, I don't know what the fuck he's looking at. Literally, it shows the opposite of your claim. I have no idea how he's parsing this information. When he sees the scientist number smaller than the general population, I don't understand what he could possibly be seeing. Am I humiliated? Yeah, I do not feel humiliated. Did he do this so that I would make a video about it? Is that it? Is this all that's happening?
you know about the universe, it does not directly correlate to you not to becoming an atheist. Only for Christians.
You showed me does in fact say
no,
that
it
you are more
doesn't
likely
because
to be
It literally does. It says 41% of scientists identify as hard atheists.
taken into account when Muslims get educated, they don't. So how do you explain that? I said culture. I said the reason why people, when they seek higher forms of education, for Christians they deconvert. That's because of culture, but it's not the same for
deconversion
Muslims.
and being more secular are not the same thing.
Okay.
So you don't have to be a full-on apostate to be more secular than you were before. And I guarantee you,
No,
over
I would
time,
agree with that.
You will
But at
find
the same
because-
time,
Okay, so you agree with my fucking claim, you dumbass? Like, you're just mad that I'm an atheist and emotional about it and incapable of, like, hearing the words I'm saying? Sure, dude. I guess come by whenever you're upset. Go ahead and drop by whenever you have want to talk about something that matters. This is stupid.
I typically,
but the
especially in
problem
America-
was you
hold
made
on,
that
especially
claim.
in-
You made that
especially-
claim, though. You made that claim that when you
especially
have
in
higher forms
America-
of education,
Can I finish?
you
Can I finish?
well, buddy, you
Can
didn't
I
let me
finish?
finish constantly.
Buddy, can I finish?
You can't whine about it when you just did it
Especially in
at the
America, as a
beginning.
minority group, I would
a
expect people
minority
to
group?
hold on to their culture a little harder.
Yeah, because
than
it's
someone who's
cultural. It has
already
nothing to
considered
do
part
whether
of the
how
in-group.
well you understand the universe or not. You said that when you understand the universe better, you know
Do you
these
have
things
another
more.
thing to say? Because you're just spinning your tires on this, buddy.
Well, I got enough footage for everything, so I'm actually happy. You can put me back, Mace.
Cool.
This was fruitful.
Cool, man. Nobody knows who you are.
Well, they know me more than you.
Oh man!
I got the footage. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I got more. I don't know.
So,
Alrighty, so about that
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
server, I don't own it. Frank
Okay. So as you can see, that guy's a dumbass. I don't know. I don't know. He just showed a study on the screen that proved me correct the whole time.
Defeated.
See, from a certain point of view, from an illiterate point of view, I would be wrong, I suppose. But since I can read the thing, I'm right. I don't even know. Why'd he make the video? That's a dumbass, bro. It's like he literally can't read. I don't fucking understand it. I would happily talk to any and all Christians about their worldview, though. Happy to anytime. I'm live weeknights. I am not humiliated, though. I was hoping it would be much more scathing. Any content is good content. I fucking guess.